We want to bring you an update now on a story we've been following since last week. 25 runaway monkeys have been captured after escaping from a research facility in South Carolina. Veterinarians say the recovered monkeys are in good health, but 43 of them total escaped last Wednesday when an employee failed to fully secure a door. That means 18 are still on the loose. To give you an idea of where this happened, the lab is in Yemassee. That's in the southern part of the state, about 60 miles west of Charleston. CBS News national correspondent Dave Malkoff is in Atlanta with more on the efforts to capture the rest of the monkeys. Dave, this is just a wild story. And I want to ask you, because I know that officials said there's no risk to people, but don't interact with them and close your doors and windows. I mean, those seem like two sort of conflicting ideas to me. Do they pose a risk to people who live in the area?
They do not, because these are adolescent females who have not been involved in any kind of testing whatsoever. They haven't received vaccines or any kind of diseases, anything like that. They are way too young for that, Lindsay. But just as you were doing that intro, just as you were reading the 25 were captured, I just got a text message just seconds ago. And we now know that 2 more have been captured. So now we are up to 27 of the 43 that were on the loose for a while. I'm just reading this right now. He said they'll know more after 5 p.m. because their efforts are continuing. And the efforts out there, Lindsay, are to put out these traps, very humane traps that have a fruit trail leading up to it. And as they get in that trap, the door just gently closes. And they are curious, they are hungry. They want everything from apples to bananas to peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
To catch a monkey, now we know. So you mentioned what authorities are doing there. I mean, have they given you any clue as to how long this could take?
It depends on how much fun these monkeys are having just over the fence. Now, we were at the fence line just on Friday where we saw all of these monkeys who were just kind of hanging out there in the trees, and they're watching us as much as we are looking out for them. What happened on Wednesday is they had a caretaker who was trained on this. She opened a door to go cleaning the inside of the enclosure with a spray cleaner, with a pressure sprayer. And she didn't necessarily lock the gate. She closed the gate, but she locked the gate. One of them got out, and then we're learning that the term monkey see, monkey do is based in reality. After one got out, just one after the other, 43 of them went out of this locked enclosure, and the enclosure is maybe like 100 feet or so from the gate. And then, or from the fence, and then they went over the fence into the trees, and you can see them, you can hear them, and they're just over that fence. So they're not very close to anybody's property. There's a woodsy area, just like these trees behind me, and they're kind of like up in the trees, and but they're getting hungry. They don't have fruit up there for them, so the fruit is on the ground, and it's near the traps.
When you said monkey see, monkey do, I thought you were about to say some of the monkeys started power washing. But I do want to ask you a more serious question about something I was being a little flippant about. What kind of conditions were they living in? Is there any reason to believe they escaped because they were being mistreated?
Well, it depends on how you feel about animal testing in the first place. These animals are being tested for vaccine production, not at this facility. This facility breeds them for the people who would do the vaccine testing. And once they go to the secondary facility where they're doing that testing, they have to test them from anything for development of HIV vaccines to COVID vaccines. This is how we got the COVID vaccine so fast, is because we were able to do testing on rhesus macaques, which are very, very similar DNA-wise to humans. So it just depends on how you feel about that. Some people have one feeling about it. Some people have another feeling about it. But they are bred for this actual testing, and then they're moved over to another facility that actually does the testing. We're in close contact with the CEO, who is trying to get them back as fast and as quickly as possible. But as you've heard, this has happened before, once before. But in that case, just a handful of monkeys got out, and they came back and they went inside their chamber or their facility that they're in. It's kind of like an open air it's like an open air facility that has a fence around it, and they have places for them to swing on back and forth. It's not a cage by any means. We saw those when we were there on Friday, and they were able to swing through there. They were able to have fun, interact with each other. It's pretty open air inside the fence. But once they get outside of there, they have access to the trees over there in South Carolina, and they can jump from tree to tree.
Okay. Dave Malkoff, keep us posted. Thank you.